You guys, I'm almost through my most expensive rent I've ever had. I've been paying $16.30 for over a year now. Listen, I know the people who live in more expensive areas are gonna be like, oh my God, that's a good deal. And the people who live in small towns are gonna be like, oh my God, I would throw up. I am not kidding when I say this has taken a toll on my fucking life. I'm not making the money I want to at this point, but I'm also making the most I've ever made. But my bills have. I don't have a savings account. Like, I just feel like I can't even like go out and get a coffee because I'm just like locked in with this rent. But I am about to pay March rent, and then I have partial rent in April, which will still be like 1,000 something because it's until the 23rd. And then I am fucking done with this lease, and I get to make cheaper rent payments for at least 4 months. My quality of life has plummeted. Like, it's just not a way to live when you can't afford your rent. And I just need to get off this hamster wheel and be able to save a little bit, maybe like take a yoga class, I don't know, get dinner with a friend. It's just like normal human shit I just have not been able to do. I made some extra money pet sitting the last 2 weeks on top of like my own practice and seeing clients. So like I'm going to get a beer with a friend today. And I'm like, oh my God, I think I like this little life. Like, it's just small shit. Like an $8 beer. Like, I should be able to do that once in a while.
People are done with America. People are realizing that America is pretty much just one large corporation. It runs like a business, and it's all about profit these days. We're seeing everyone struggle with a lot of expenses because costs are rising. Housing is insane. Grocery prices are high. Health insurance has nearly doubled it for 2026. And it's just making life right now very unaffordable, especially for a lot of normal working class Americans where they really just can't afford much things, let alone put any money away for their savings or any money for their retirement, which they were pretty much promised years ago. So a lot of people are fed up with America right now. They're realizing the American dream is dead and the middle class is pretty much dying out, and pretty much no one can afford a home these days. And it's just very unfortunate to see. Now let me know in the comments down below what you think about all this. Are you fed up too? Let me know in the comments and take a look at the rest of these clips.
I don't get how people afford life without a job. I can't even afford it with a job. I have direct deposits, a schedule, responsibilities, and somehow the math still isn't mathing at the end of the month. I mean, every month I pay bills, and my account looks surprised, like where'd it go? I was there the whole time, and I don't even understand what happened. So meanwhile, there are people out there, unemployed, calm, traveling, eating out regularly. I'm employed, and I'm still budgeting mentally in the grocery store. Like I check the prices, like I'm studying for a final exam. I'm having cold sweats and flashbacks. So I just want to know the system. Just want to know how this works. Like what do you do? Because if this is me with income, I'm afraid to see the version without it. So if you're living comfortably with no job, please explain this slowly to me. I'm generally trying to learn.
I know I'm not the only one struggling in this economy. I became a stay-at-home mom 3 years ago, and my husband is making more money than he has ever made in his life, and we are still tight. Back in 2020, we built this house, making way less money than we do now. And in today's economy, if we were to go buy another house, we literally could not because it is too expensive. Luckily, we are not in any credit card debt or anything, but it is still tough for us. I did start posting back on TikTok to make a little bit extra money to put into savings, but as the economy is now, there's no saving that either. I just want to make this post to let you know that you are not alone if you guys are struggling in this economy.
Genuinely, how is anybody affording life right now in Ontario? Like, I've always known that I wanted to leave Canada at some point, but these days it's more and more brain fart, sorry. These days it's just more and more on my brain every single day that I wake up. I'm just really hating it here. The weather is shit. We barely see the sun, and when it does come out, it's still not warm. We get hot weather for 3 months out of the year, if we're lucky, 4.5 or 3.5. Groceries are the cost of your mortgage or your rent. Mortgage and rent are extremely high. Then you have to pay for car insurance. And then you have to pay for a car payment if you don't own your vehicle. Then you got to pay expensive ass utilities. And people say, oh, well, you have free healthcare. But realistically, I would rather pay for freaking healthcare at this point because nobody has a family doctor here. And when you do go see the doctor, you're in the waiting room for about 2 hours waiting for the damn doctor. Education is free, but it's shit. The education in North America is so bad. And now the government is taking away the money that they were giving people to help them to go to post-secondary. So it's like, what do we really have going on here for anybody to want to live here? I just don't get it. Coming to live in Canada is like signing up for depression for the rest of your life and signing up to work to die.
You want to know something that's really fucked up about America? I'm 39 years old. I am a healthcare worker. I'm a respiratory therapist. I've been a respiratory therapist for, I don't know, almost 15 years. And I'm a mom of 5. I've been with my current employer for 5 months, even though I have a long established work history. And my oldest son was recently diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he's 18. I've spent the last 2 weeks inpatient with him at the University of Michigan Mott Children's Hospital. He has a 10-centimeter mediastinal mass. He had a 1-liter pericardial effusion. That's fluid that had built up around his heart from the inflammation caused by the cancer that he had to have drained. He had multiple panic attacks while in the hospital due to different procedures. And we were supposed to have his graduation party tomorrow, July 13th. And instead, I brought him home yesterday to recover from his first chemo. And he has to go back weekly, either for labs and blood transfusions or for his biweekly chemo sessions. My husband is like a part-time contractor. He was partly disabled through COVID, but good luck getting that covered with disability because long COVID barely exists in the eyes of the medical establishment. And so instead, he's become like the stay-at-home dad, and I'm working full-time. When I informed my employer of the situation and did some research, I found out I don't qualify for FMLA, the Family Medical Leave Act, because I haven't been with my employer for a year. So I searched through my employee handbook to see, well, do I qualify for any other kind of medical leave to, number one, secure my job, which has the income and insurance my family needs, since I'm the primary income earner. And I saw that they did, that they have an 8-week leave that they grant employees who don't qualify yet for FMLA. Wonderful. They've been a wonderful company to me so far. When I submit that to HR, I get a response that I don't qualify for medical leave because it doesn't affect me personally. The medical leave they offer is only for you, not for you to care for a family member. And so after sending them a response that's basically, I don't know how I'm supposed to return to work after my PTO runs out, which was only, I had just under 2 weeks because I had taken a day, the day that my son was admitted to the hospital. We were at his college orientation when we got the ultrasound results back that he had a mass. It was extended up to behind his thyroid. And he admitted to me that he was having chest pain and other symptoms that he had been basically hiding from me. And we went directly to the ER. So never called out. I've been an exceptional employee. But hey, because my government does not provide for a more comprehensive FMLA that absolutely should not only apply to people who have been at their employer for a year, that absolutely should be covered because I already knew that anything beyond my PTO would be out of my pocket. So I had to start a GoFundMe because I thought, okay, how in reality am I going to pay for everything and continue my income and also take care of him? These are the things that working class American families have to figure out on their own, have to give up all their dignity and beg for money on GoFundMe just so that we can keep a roof over our heads and food on our table. And I can already feel like the welfare rat boomer hater people saying, oh, well, you should have had a plan in place. You should have had this. You should have had savings. I know. But like I live in this world right now. I live in this post-COVID world COVID tore our world apart. COVID likely caused his cancer. Let's be real. Epstein-Barr is a common virus that like unlocks epigenetically Hodgkin's lymphoma. I'm sure one day, probably not too far from now, they'll find out that COVID does the same. But the lovely social workers at Mount Children's Hospital said, listen, you said that you have short-term disability coverage through your employer. Why don't you see if you can get a stress leave of absence? I'm like, oh, what? She said, you seem pretty stressed out. I said, that's the understatement of the century. She said, talk to your primary care provider, your therapist. Like, I have time to go to a therapist. I work full time and I have 5 kids. Oh my God. So today, the first day fully home out of the hospital, I had a video visit with my doctor, who wouldn't clear me for more than 3 weeks. She's kind of a hard ass. And she was like, I told you to get established with a therapist because you have anxiety. I said, I'm going to just level with you, doc. I wanted to, but the only place that I could find locally that was accepting new patients requires 6 weeks of outpatient therapy before you can see their psychiatrist. And I've been on a wait list for months. It doesn't matter which way you turn. It is so hard to get the help and the care that you need, no matter how hardworking you are. I am so incredibly hardworking and always have been. But this is what I'm up against. I now have to face the fact that I'm going to have to go back to work before I'm ready. I'm going to be expected to give the same that I gave before this whole ordeal began. I'm going to have to take a day off a week to take my son for treatment. That's going to be unpaid. Where is the support system? Where is the safety net? Our politicians take all the money and they leave us here scrounging, like barely above, just like with our nose just above the water.
Does anybody else feel like we've been duped? Because I don't remember signing up for any of this shit. I'm literally busting my ass every day for food, water, clothing, and shelter to exist on a planet that I didn't ask to be here. I didn't choose to be born. And who decided that this was the way that things had to be? Because from my understanding, that whole barter system was going pretty well until somebody decided, you know what? That's not working out. We're going to make them pay for the privilege of living. And while we're thinking ahead, let's make them pay for the privilege of dying. If you ever want to understand why I don't believe in God, this is it right here, because I can't believe that an omniscient being is looking down on all of this that he's created, allegedly, and says, you know what? Yep, working out just fine. Let's see how this thing plays out. Bullshit. I call bullshit, because this isn't the way that life should be. I'm sorry. It's just fucking not.
So I'm leaving the dentist, and first of all, that was fucking terrifying. I've been traumatized from the dentist since I was I don't know how old. But also, they said, my wisdom teeth, they're coming in and they're coming in fucking with my other teeth. So we got to pull them bitches out. And I'm going to need 3 days off to do that. I'm like, bro, I can't afford to have 3 days off. Like, this is just so dumb, bro. Like, but I know I need to get them out because it hurts. And I have to wait till September because August is a busy month for where I'm working. And that means I have to deal with the pain for a little bit longer, which is fine. But I'm just stressed out about how bullshit, just pops up in life. And you're like, I really can't even afford to do that. Even though it's a health concern, like, it sucks that our lives have to be like that. And we have to worry about what we can and cannot afford, even if it does mean just dying. Like, I literally feel like I can't even afford to just die right now. I can't. I can't. I have children. Like, that's crazy to me. But, so yeah, they said that. And then I got some random spot they seen, on the x-rays, like, a dark spot. They said they wanted to check out. And then I'm going to sit in the waiting room and I see a pamphlet that says oral cancer, which I didn't even know you could get oral cancer. So I'm freaking out about that. My mind's racing and I'm like, what is this spot he said he wants to check out? And I'm like freaking out. My mind is just wondering, hoping it's nothing bad, like, you know? And here my job's like, you know, yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry, but we need you at work. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how life is, and it's crazy. But so that's how my day is going right now. Oh, also the bill, mind you, the bill, even with my insurance, thank God my job gives you insurance, because even with the insurance, it's still $2,500, right? That's how much it is to do what I have to do for my teeth. And that didn't even include the whitening, because I was going to check out the whitening. I was like, no, just take that off. I'll continue to use my little strips or whatever. And she took it off, and it still was like $2,500. And I said, okay, can we do something with like a plan? Can we do a financial plan?
Not that anything is wrong with me, but something's wrong with me, because ever since I've been like 10, I've thought this. I have literally thought, why do you work your entire life just to have money at age like 65 and then you travel the world? But you're not really mobile, because studies have shown that literally Americans past like the age of 40 have all these like sorts of health conditions to where they got to take medicine. And by the time that you're like 70, you're not really like agile, free, mobile, all this stuff to travel with your retirement that you're now granted because you've worked 40 freaking years getting paid to work under someone else, never set your own hours. And like, yes, you can own a business, but then you work like all day. Like my dad owned a business. Like he was gone a lot of the time. Like he made it a priority to go to everything of ours, but that's hard. Like, but like even in these days, if you own a business, if you make like good money working a 9 to 5, you still can't afford like basic rent in the city that you like work in. It's really depressing. And I've been thinking this way since I'm like 10. I'm like, oh my God, we literally live to work. But now it's worse. I'm like, you really like live to work. There's no point in me staying in this apartment right now. Besides, I get to go to work on Monday. And that's like, it's so, I hate thinking about it.
Why is it so expensive to live? Why? I didn't ask to be here. Okay, so I just got a car. Yay! Until all the fucking payments come swinging, bitch. So I get my car and the payments are fine. Like I could afford it, whatever. Next thing, car insurance. I'm currently with Geico, and I had a non-owner's insurance because the Jeep was in Kevin's name, and I just wanted to insure myself, especially if I'm moving and driving the Amazon vans as well. I'm paying $150 with Geico, and that is with an employee discount that I received for working there for like 3 days before I cussed out all the bitches that work there, but that's another story anyways. And so clearly that's not going to cover this car because I actually own it. So the dealership had referred me to Progressive because they like are partnered with them or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a deal, right? $700. $700. I literally emailed her and was like, that is fucking more than my car payment. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? You guys need to fucking figure some shit out. Anyways, so obviously scratch them off the list. I called Geico because I'm already with them, and if you didn't know, if you cancel a policy and your policy is 6 months and say you cancel in the second month, you're gonna owe them 4 months of that policy if you decide to come back. If not, you can't come back, and you have to pay that shit in full. So think about that before you cancel. Anyways, that's the one thing I learned while working there. So that's why I was like, oh, I should just stay with them. I called them and I'm like, hey girl, do you remember me? Yeah, I'm that bitch. And they gave me a quote of $500. $500. Another bitch that's crazy. Scratch them off the list. So next on my list is State Farm. I call them. They give me a beautiful quote of $300, which is not the best, bitch, but I definitely like that number a lot better when I'm paying than receiving it. So, you know, I need insurance, bitch. So I bought that. But, I honestly should have just bought a bike.
So I ran to Walmart today after work to pick up some light bulbs for my porch light. And I don't know. I haven't really had to buy light bulbs in a while. I don't know. And so I forgot how fucking expensive they were. Like, luckily I kept looking and I found a 4-pack for like $6 because I'm cheap. But I was almost about to buy this other light bulb. It was one bulb for the same price. And I don't understand how something as simple as light bulbs is so expensive. Like, that's the dumbest purchase that I have to make. And it's so expensive to me. Like, $7, $8, $9, $10, $11 for 4 light bulbs. And so I was talking to one of my friends, and he was like, well, maybe it's because like they last so much longer now, so that's why the price is up, because you won't have to buy, you know, that many more in the long run. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, but it doesn't at the same time. Cause why? I just used to feel like when my mama used to buy light bulbs, they used to be like $2 and $3 for a 4-pack. Am I wrong? This is the dumbest. This is why I hate becoming an adult. Like, growing up is stupid, because why are light bulbs expensive? Why are eggs expensive? Like, simple shit is expensive. It makes no sense.